as I begin recording. So, after exploring the vibrant nightlife of Itzel and engaging in dream magic sessions, the group's adventures continued. Angus struck a deal with Grimbold Iron Tusk in the Ember Room, offering the Hammer Strike's services in exchange for recognition as the Lord of Morthholm. The next day, Velum Vresh ventured into the moonlit markets to find decorations for the upcoming feast, bonding amidst the bustling atmosphere. Meanwhile, Angus surprised the resort staff by summoning his great etc grandmother spirit to assist in the kitchen for just that feast. Later, Angus led a ritual to remove Dejar's curse, but a lingering dark presence remained, leaving an eerie feeling. Nevertheless, Dejar felt this newfound sense of freedom as the curse was finally lifted, embracing the bright streets of Itzel. The group set out to seize the opportunities of the day. Liska attracted attention while signing up for the Galmimus races, encountering the arrogant champion, the current champion, Takuma, but skillfully deflected his attempts to intimidate her. She then formed a bond with her assigned longstrider, Titan, known for his resilience in the races. Meanwhile, Grunk entertained himself with magical fishing pole antics, drawing curious gazes and sparking conversation amongst the locals. Dejar pursued the enchanting autumn plate robes from Quatre Couture, accepting a side quest to gather rare deep pearls and rune gold for this set of robes completion. She messaged Ida to confirm their presence at the Ember Room later in the evening. The group also made sure to acquire suitable beachwear for this 3-day vacation here in Itzel. Angus and Willem indulged in conversations about the local culinary delicacies and reunited with Tilali, who was kind of busy participating in a game of Ulumlitsli, a renowned ball game enjoyed throughout the dynasty. As the afternoon faded into the early evening, preparations commenced for Angus's feast, held in honour of Madame Zanzil, the owner of the Crystal Falls Resort. Madame Zanzil engaged you in a series of prying questions about your strategies, reasons for being in Varish's employ, and performance as a boss. Angus arrived with Lord Grimbold Iron Tusk and his entourage, who had been invited to the feast. A food cart carrying, sort of filled with an array of fabulous and visually appealing fusion meals, blending Mainland and Tansian culinary styles, enhanced the festive atmosphere here. And with toasts from the Varesh and Madame Zanzil, the group, you all immerse yourselves in the feast, savouring this sort of mouth-watering dishes as the sun begins to set, casting this mesmerising display of vibrant oranges and deep reds among the coastlines of the Dactoin Gulf here. And I'm going to bring you back to the beach. So, one last thing I did kind of forget to mention earlier as you were all approaching the beach, and oh fuck it, I've got to hold on. I have to log back into the fucking game.
Technical difficulties, people.
Yes.
As usual.
Yeah, it happens every time for some reason. Give me a brief moment. So, one thing that I did forget to mention earlier. You kind of idly scan the horizon. You notice these groups of tall sort of sea stacks rising sort of majestically from the ocean, about a mile offshore. That sort of casts these long shadows across the sea. Each of them about a couple 100 feet high, visible even from this distance. One thing you notice, Salyan, that draws your attention, and I believe you, Vellum, as well, and also you, Clutley. You notice a small structure built up atop one of them, like a temple of sorts, and you can see this massive bonfire-like brazier that burns brightly at the top of the structure, casting this orange-red hue across the water. You can see this wide stone half bridge protruding from the edge of the Stacks Plateau, like this enormous gangplank or a diving board, if you will. And at the end of this structure is this large golden disc that hangs from a frame, just atop the end of the structure, and a chain dangles underneath. It dangles down for nearly about 100 feet, with an enormous hook attached to the end. And dangling upon the hook from its caudal fin is the corpse of an enormous shark. You estimate its size to be about maybe 20 to 30 feet long. You know exactly what this is, Talali. The rest of you don't.
Oh, wait. Okay, no, yeah. Okay, I know what this is. Alright. Yeah. She's gonna just be watching that to see if and or when it happens, but, yeah, she's, again, kind of off to the side, kind of got her food, and apparently the dog treats.
Yes. Yeah, there's a bunch of stray dogs just kind of surrounding you right now, as almost like they're sort of begging and clamouring for food as you're kind of just sat there chilling on the beach, while the rest of the entourage is having fun with their feast.
Many bones for doggos.
Oh yes.
Yep. Much bone, much doggos. Make sure that they're well behaving.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she's enjoying her meal because she has an insane appetite.
Yeah.
Like one of those people that never seem like they can get enough food.
Just a bottomless pit. It's
yeah, pretty much. But I will say that I mean, Liska doesn't notice this, obviously, but does. So sorry, I will clarify that Kalali is just kind of watching while still eating her own food, giving food to dogs, but she won't, due to how far away she is from the group, make any mention of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if those who have noticed wish to say something or ask something, feel free.
Welcome, Atlas. Just in time.
Sorry.
And you're also very quiet.
Is better?
There you go.
Alright, yeah, sorry. I also was speaking softly. You were just saying how Takali is off in the distance?
Yeah, she's what was it you said? You're not far off, but just kind of keeping an eye out.
Yeah, she's a bit down the beach, like on like a random, probably like a rock out. So here, like let's say the group's here. She'd be like on these rocks over here.
There you go.
Oh, it's not too far, but
Yeah, like you'd have to walk. Like, you know how it is walking a good while on a beach, like walking through sand and shit. You have to get there for a bit. There's a slow approach. Let me just say.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, she's got her food and whatnot in secrecy and or well, should try to be as subtle, circumspect as possible.
Did she come over and get the food plate that he made?
Well, she got her food, and it wasn't until after the fact that you said the thing about the food plate. But yeah, she probably, given the fact that she said, Angus prepared something for me. I would say yes, she probably got the food plate.
Okay, awesome. Just if at some point, I just want to make sure she gets that.
Yeah.
You know, if she gets it early on and fucks off, because that's what she wants to do, okay? You just want to make sure that she eats. And the dogs too.
Yeah. She is feeding dogs and eating food.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes,
Out of character, would you be interested in someone interacting with her and getting her involved? Or do you feel like it's better to keep her, a little bit more distant because you want to focus on these guys?
I mean, it's up to y'all. Like, I have no inclination either way. It's up to y'all if y'all, one, notice her, or two, feel like you want to say something to her. Like, I have nothing planned.
Okay. I'm just trying to test the player preference. You'll probably talk to her once the nobles fuck off, since it seems she's pointedly disinterested.
But, to go back to what Jenner was saying, or what Jenner initially said, yes, she will not mention the giant hanging shark,
Yeah.
but she'll, due to how the distance she's at, but she will watch it. If someone, at the table, one of those who are astute and keen of eye, wish to say something, they can.
Oh, I noticed.
Well, I don't even know what you noticed, so maybe that's for best.
Can you describe it again for Atlas real quick, Jenner?
Sure. Hang on. Let me go back to
Only if you think a 14 passive would notice.
Oh, 14 passive. Yeah, that 14 would be enough.
Don't worry.
Sorry, I didn't notice your passive there. Let me. Sorry, I gotta grab up this. Okay, so you notice a tall group of sea stacks sort of rising majestically from the ocean about a mile offshore. That's casting these long shadows across the sea. Each of them about 100 feet high, or 200, maybe 300 feet high, visible from this distance. One of the stacks, you notice a small structure built atop it. Small from this distance, but probably very large, much larger up close. It's like a temple of sorts, and you can see out front is this massive bonfire-like brazier that burns brightly at the top of that structure, casting this orange-red hue across the water. And you notice this wide stone half bridge protruding from the edge of the Stacks Plateau, like an enormous gangplank or diving board. At the end of this structure, kind of set upright at the very end of it, is this large golden disc that hangs from a frame. A chain dangles underneath that bridge for nearly 100 feet, with this enormous hook attached to the end. And dangling upon that hook from its fin, its hind fin, is the enormous corpse of a shark, about 20 to 30 feet long.
So there's just a giant hanging shark off of what almost appears to be like a trophy hook of the like
Sort
out
of.
in the bay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like there's men constantly harvesting this thing and stuff like that. Like it's not like this is an established fishery area. It's more like bragging rights or blade or something like that.
You don't notice anyone sort of upon sort of hanging around that shark down there, harvesting meat from it.
I have a thought. What would I need to do to evaluate this type of if there was anything that was similar in Port Morgan?
You were kind of cutting out for a second for me.
Yeah.
Evaluate what?
Oh. What would I need to do if I wanted to evaluate this situation and see if there was something similar that happened in Port Morkney. As a player, I think of when you hang up the giant trophy fish, look how big this thing is. But maybe something similar happened in Morkney, where they were showing off a terrible beast that plagued the water. Don't go past this point, here's where they live. You know? How do I get that kind of character knowledge? Or test to see if that's true?
I'll say, go ahead and make a history check.
Alright. As I'm thinking about this and scratching my chin, thank you, guidance. Why do I have double +4? Well, it's still almost in that 20. So take 4 off of that, should be 27.
Okay.
Stone cutting on? Ignore the second one. No.
I think stone cutting is in.
I think you may have just gotten lucky.
Well,
So-
no, because
I have a 1d4 +4.
yeah, it's
Let me
applying
check my
expertise, I guess. Unless suddenly you have proficiency
No,
in.
just proficience, intelligence, and roll a skill bonus.
Do you have proficiency in history?
I do.
So with a 19, 22,
Oh, but I don't have 4 +4 intelligence. Oh well,
okay.
that's for a future time. We'll fix it.
Okay, so even that's going to push you over 20, which would be what you need.
27.
Yeah. Best you can tell, you've heard of certain pirate outposts that might, hunt large creatures of the sea. But normally that's just for that's purely for harvesting purposes. If that was the case here, if that was the case here, you wouldn't see you'd see people kind of actively kind of on the carcass harvesting meat from it. You don't see anything here. In fact, I'd also like you to make a nature check, which is what that big old history check lets you do here.
Okay.
11. Okay. There's something strange
I
about
absolutely botched that. 7.
7. Okay. Something strange about why it's hanging there in the first place that you can't quite put a finger on.
So history sort of tells me it's like what, pirate beast hunters might do. But I'm not really sure about what's up with this.
Yeah. What the purpose of it is.
Well, seeing it off in the distance to involve other players, Angus is just gonna look at it and kind of go, what it would be to make sushi out of something like that.
Huh? What?
I was just giving an eye from Angus to the giant shark.
The fish lad! He gestures towards it to Dejar, who responded. Look how big it is! Obviously it's a trophy catch, so they've got it hung up.
I mean, what does it take to reel something like that in?
Someone about your size.
I was about to say, yeah, that's someone your size.
A really big pole.
Probably is like block and tackle.
Do you even use... Oh, good thing I got 4 of those. Do you even use a pole for something that big? Or do you harpoon it?
Janner, can with our special eyes, can we, or I guess Liska's gonna look to Sal because Sal actually does have goggles and special eyes. Sal, can you check to see if it is harpooned? If there's like blood coming down out of side or something?
I can try, and
Yep, perception check.
I'm going to probably try and think of any reason.
actually, hold on. I can try and find
Hey,
There you go.
There you go.
fixed. Oh, hey, fixed.
Yeah.
I want to try and figure out what's going on here with my knowledge.
Yeah, I'll say make me a for you, Dejar. I'll make me a nature check.
Very well.
Saoyun, as you know, the light breeze kind of begins sort of turning this massive corpse of this shark. You see a very prominent puncture hole in the very side of this creature. Very likely harpooned.
it looks like it's harpooned, but I wonder, would it count as more as a lance in terms of size?
And how big was the whole Saoyun?
What's my best guess in a genre on that? About fist size or something?
Definitely not fist sized. Maybe about probably about half a foot in diameter.
Dejar
For a
looks
was it 20 or 30-foot shark?
It was a. I'll say from that perception check, Saoyun, this is definitely about 25, 26 feet.
That would make it
That's
the
a big
biggest great white in history.
Dejar is rubbing her chin, then thinks
I'd hang that as a trophy.
back to when she saw Grunka fishing. And looks back at that.
But big.
Then this could be a trophy or some type of bait or something.
I'm still impressed they managed to catch it. It's like twice Louis can then some.
But what would need that type of big bait in the first place? That's it. If it was like, Tyrannosaurus Rex that lived in the water, that'd be utterly terrifying. Even more so. I'm going to Jenna. And I reflectively think of any animal that might want to eat something like that.
This would be a hefty nature check.
Or
Okay. Jesus Christ. You have heard myths and legends from your time, sort of studying the local tales of Tanzania. The Actuin Gulf is it's an ocean of primordial wonders, but also of primordial giants. Deep sea gigantism tends to be a thing, and with an ocean that houses as much primeval life as the Actuin Gulf, it's not too difficult to imagine that there may be some sort of massive leviathan, kraken, other giant marine reptile or even a mammal, carnivorous mammal that could find its home here. In fact, the more you kind of study this, the less it looks like more bait. And from the ceremonial setup, you can see with the temple, and what very clearly looks to be like some sort of gong at the very edge of this half bridge. This looks more like an offering.
I take that back. That's not bait. Could be an offering to whatever primordial beast lives in this gulf. As to what that may be, I have no idea. Especially since he squints a little bit. Might have a gong sound. Can you see if they have a gong up there? If it is some type of offering?
Am I?
With your earlier perception check and taking into account your general absurd degree of passive perception, yes, you can indeed see that golden structure at the very end of this gangplank type structure is indeed a massive golden gong, and you can only estimate it to be, judging from the small tiny figures you can see at the very top of that plateau, sort of going about their day, probably about 20 feet in diameter.
How did you know?
There's been some legends and folklores, but this is the first time I've actually seen anything like this.
So, as the rest of I'll say since you've all gone quiet, we should move on to the next scene.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm trying to take in the visual idea here, and this sounds really just like Burning Man.
Burning shark.
I mean, am I wrong?
Burning shark.
Well, I mean, Burning Man has a giant, wicker man as opposed to just a shark hanging there, but I mean,
same difference. It's okay.
No, I mean, there is a difference. the entire, reasoning behind it is different than what this is, but regardless. Is there... So, when you say, next scene, are we moving away from the beach?
No. I'm just
Okay.
because I believe Velum and Varesh have a challenge to complete.
Oh yeah. I suspect everybody's probably going to get shit-faced early on.
Yeah.
Either way.
So,
Some of us.
as the feast unfolds before you, Vellum, your gaze is drawn to that striking platter, sort of placed prominently at the centre of the table. Upon it, you see smoked and spiced scorpions are arranged in this captivating display. Surrounding the scorpions are these alternating sort of small platters of sauces. One is a pleasant shade of orange, and the other is this vivid, almost alarming hue of red. You notice these sauces as containing varying degrees of sunstruck pepper. It's this culinary challenge that you and Varesh have set up. And adjacent to the platter, you notice small ceramic jugs filled with milk, seemingly prepared for the both of you. Yes.
Well, for anyone who dares to try it.
And across the table, opposite side of you, Varesh's smirking countenance catches your eye. Mischievous gaze meets yours, and this sense of anticipation and this of a friendly culinary duel is in the air. And she speaks, kind of seemingly fully embracing the theatrics of the moment. Well, Vellum, I've heard tales of the legendary sunstruck pepper from your homeland, but let me assure you, I have braved the scorching storms of Tanzia's volcano pepper and emerged unscathed. She remarks, her voice carrying this sort of this air of a playful challenge.
Well, that may be so, Miss Rasman, but you might find the peppers of my homeland a little more intense. He's gonna sort of move over, get like some of the scorpion meat, like a little plate. I assume we have like it's like buffet rules where we got like. Sorry, still coffee after 2 fucking weeks. Yeah, I guess some of the scorpion meat. Almost just sort of almost waits invitingly and expectantly for her to also approach.
She approaches too with a platter of, also with a platter of scorpion meat on her plate, kind of sits down opposite you. Is that so? Well, the sunstruck pepper beckons, and the ember room awaits. Are you ready to savor the bird? You can see her, rather you can hear in her voice, her competitive nature begins to shine through. And
oh yeah, very dangerous when she's competitive.
Yeah.
Miss Rasman, I've been almost nostalgic for it.
Very well then. Shall we make it a best of 5 challenge? Loser has to buy a round of drinks for everyone at the Ember Room. And I remind you, those drinks do not come cheap.
Your wager is agreeable.
Alright, so let's get into the mechanics of this, shall we? The initial difficulty class for this, DC, it's set at 14. This represents the baseline level of spiciness you must endure from the sunstruck pepper. But as the rounds progress, the challenge, the DC will increase by 2 each subsequent round. This is the intensifying heat, adding to the difficulty of Constitution saving throws. Both you and Varesh will make con saves at each round. It's basically the DC determines the target number you have to meet or exceed to successfully endure the spiciness. For the purposes of this challenge, there's a difference between physical hardiness in combat and the ability to withstand different levels of the Scoville scale, shall we say. And for these purposes, since Varesh seems to have experience with spicy foods, we'll consider her con saves equivalent to yours to even out the playing field, shall we say.
That's fair. I was about to... At some point I would have broken attunement to my Amulet of Health, because that would be an unfair advantage. That's
Okay.
the one that boosts the con score.
Yep. All right then.
I ain't cheating.
Fair enough.
I do feel like I have to ask. Just I know it's an even playing field and all, but given these are from Velm's homeland, do I gain any mild benefits?
Are you asking if you gain a fucking cultural bonus?
Wait, there's a reason this is what they, because it's not. It's everything else is not spicy.
You know what?
Entirely up. I just figure I'd ask.
You know what? I'll give you a +1 bonus, shall we say?
Right. I mean, you know what? It could come in clutch. You never know.
So
we got profession bonuses, we got racial bonuses, and now we got cultural bonuses.
Cultural bonuses. Very niche cultural bonus.
So each of you has access to 3 jugs of milk, which you can consume to provide a temporary relief from that burning sensation. Drinking a jug of milk adds a 1d4 bonus to your con save for that specific round. However, once a jug of milk is consumed, it cannot be used again in the subsequent rounds. So you got three uses.
The entire contest.
Yes, you got to use them
3
wisely.
uses, 5 rounds.
Yeah. Now, just to refresh my memory, are these saves or are these checks?
These are con saves.
So hypothetically, I could use my Indomitable if I so choose to.
Potentially.
I'm making myself aware of my pros and cons and the tools at my disposal.
So, the first participant to achieve 3 victories is declared the winner for the challenge. Next round becomes tiebreaker if both parties receive 2 victories simultaneously. If you both reach 3 victories simultaneously, creating a tie with no clear winner, the competition can be extended to a tiebreaker round. In the tiebreaker round, both participants make a final Constitution saving throw, with a DC set at a challenging, shall we say, level to test your endurance even further. And whoever endures the highest result in that tiebreaker round is declared the overall winner of the challenge. Just to make sure there's no stalemate.
Yeah, that's fair. Just to sort of clear it in my mind. So it's best of 5.
Yes.
And the winner is decided by who has the highest save, or is it the case of whoever fails the most?
So it's your basic best of 5, and if it comes to like if you both have 2 successes, then the next round becomes that tiebreaker. But if
so the only detriment to failing is potentially having a lower roll than your opponent.
yes,
that correct?
I'll refer back to these rules. You know, if that the pretty much very unlikely happens, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll remind you as we go.
Alright, cool. I think I've got it.
So, let's roll initiative, shall we?
Oh man. I forgot where my initiative button was. Oh, there we go. I keep forgetting it's auto-rolled.
All right, so she
Oh
rolls.
man, she's slightly more dexterous than me.
Oh no.
19.18 versus 19.16.
Yeah, literal same roll, slightly higher modifier.
Right, let me double check your con mod.
I have unattuned to the Amulet of Health.
Okay, so let's temporarily set her con to 14, and make sure you're both equivalent. Alright, so let's get some light combat music up.
Spicy combat.
Yes.
Are the rest of us there, by the way, right?
Sorry?
The rest of us are like nearby, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can all see it's happening.
Okay.
And the spicy scorpion food is not limited to just us. Anyone can have it if they dare.
Alright, so she's gonna make
That
her
is going to like to join.
first con save.
Awesome.
I will not
competition.
take, so I will probably win.
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, you're a little quiet about
I didn't say
No,
anything.
that was me.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well, it was so quiet.
That
I
was
couldn't
me.
tell who it was.
I'm saying I will not partake, as if I do, I will just probably win.
I thought you were gonna say, and I will probably shit out my hands.
so
All right.
as Varesh takes the bold bite of the first sort of scorpion meat with that sunstroke pepper salsa on it, this wave of intense heat surges through her mouth. The spiciness proves to be too overwhelming, causing her face to sort of contort. You can see beads of sweat forming on her brow as she struggles to maintain her composure. Eyes water, breath becomes short and rapid, and she's going to go for that first jug of milk.
So it does give you you do take fire damage if you fail the check.
Okay, so she's going to go for her first glass of milk. So that brings up to.
Now remember, there is one on top of that check. I have altered my modifier, so it accounts for it in later checks.
Okay. So 18, you succeed. Varesh, with that 4 brings it up to a 16. She succeeds. Yeah, you can see.
Heat is on.
Yeah. So next round. Attributes. Con save.
Oh, nice.
The 19.
Ah.
18, you both succeed again. It's she with this unwavering resolve, having just cured her mouth of the previous spiciness. She embraces that scorching heat of that sunstroke pepper salsa. As the fiery spice kind of dances on her tongue, this glimmer of determination shines in her eyes. She grits her teeth and she steadies her breathing.
And so far, Vellum's just sort of... It's just like, when you haven't had a very particular kind of food for a long time.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's actually just enjoying it. Like, there's no strain besides, like, the initial just like, oh, that's some good spice. Just been actually just enjoying it and forgetting it's a content for a second.
Alright, so next round. Actually, that's gone to round 2. I should... Okay, round 3, there we go.
Ah, right, to keep track of the rounds. I get you.
Yep.
I was confused. It's just like, I think we know who's next.
Okay, so the 14, 16, 18. So DC is now 18.
Spicy.
Okay, so you've had 2 successes so far. She's had 2 successes. So this could be the tiebreaker.
Let's see. I am waiting for her roll first because I like the consistency of the order.
21.
Ooh, very nice. Oh,
10.
I'm going to indomitable that.
Okay.
Sorry. It's hard to clip when I'm coughing.
Seems accurate.
Alright, here we go again. Wow, even worse.
So...
yeah, I don't think milk's gonna save me.
mm.
I'll just, tough it out.
So as you bravely take that bite of the scorpion meat with the salsa, that fiery intensity immediately engulfs your mouth.
It went down the wrong pipe. He was just too eager to eat more. Just...
Sweat just beads on your forehead. Face turns this shade of deep crimson as you attempt to suppress that. You attempt to suppress that burning sensation, but it proves futile,
I think I need to slow down.
and this strangled cough escapes your lips.
Oh, you got one of the extra hot ones.
No, lucky me.
Okay, so 2 successes on either side, followed by victory on Varesh's side, failure on your side. So that'll be the tiebreaker. So, despite your best efforts,
Ooh.
indeed. So, despite your best efforts, you succumb to that scorching heat of the sunstroke pepper. The intense spiciness overwhelms your senses, leaving you sort of gasping for relief. Surprising on the part of Resh, you've never seen anyone actually withstand that heat before. But though you may not have emerged victorious, you seem to have earned Varesh's respect as she sort of raises an eyebrow and offers this playful remark. Oh, the sunstruck pepper may be fierce, but my endurance prevails. A well-fought battle, villain. And her confident tone carries that hint of satisfaction. Yeah, that too. So reveling in her triumph, she sort of wipes off her hands, offers you a handshake.
He takes the hand and shakes it.
I think
I'll be honest, I might have forgotten it was a contest.
She gives you a smirk. I think I'll have the Ember Elixir.
I'll remember that. And then he immediately goes for the spiciest one.
There you
He
go.
didn't get to it yet, and he wants it, so he's going for that good spice.
Alright.
I don't think, even if I chugged all 3 milks and it somehow stacked, I don't think I would have made that roll. In fact, I
Yeah.
got a 10 and 9.
Yeah, no, you had a bad time, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Question.
just the luck of the
This
dice.
As a question, did you use your mode of whatever the fuck? Did you?
Oh, the fucking Icon of Fate? I don't think I...
Well, too late now.
Yeah, too late now. It would have worn off by now, I think.
If it was done early in the morning.
It's usually like mid-morning I tend to do it, so...
No problem.
Ah.
Just thought I'd offer. Be like, hey. You
Oh,
know?
no, yeah, it makes sense. And if I'd remembered in the moment, I probably would have brought the question. But timing-wise, I think it's late enough that it would have worn off anyway.
Yeah. Probably.
You guys can go over there and try some.
Yeah, get in. Everyone feel free to get in on that. Just
Alright.
don't blame me if you burn your faces off.
Make a con save.
Alright. If I can bring it up. Okay.
Alright, I need to take that modifier off.
16.
I want to...
So with that base of 14, you think it's not that spicy, and then the burning sensation kicks in. As it is,
There it is.
yeah. Snakes. I don't think snakes can actually sweat, can they?
No.
No.
No. So
Nope.
You don't have skin.
no.
Oh, so you just...
scales.
Scales.
What?
So you just open your mouth, panting, as that burning sensation kicks in. However, you steel yourself and manage to just about kind of knock it back.
Man, it sucks more for snakes because they have longer tongue.
Oh yeah.
It also sucks for just God.
Yeah,
I would,
no sweating to
I
cool
need
down,
to
longer
digest
tongue.
that.
Actually, that makes me think about, because like capsaicin, capsaicin's only for mammals. Like birds don't feel the burn from capsaicin because birds are meant to eat the seeds.
It's a fantasy game.
And I'm just saying, it would be
know.
funny if she comes up and just
also,
like,
here's-
he's just like, no, yeah, this is good.
He's also a
What do you mean it's
part
spicy?
human
It's
too,
flavor.
so
Yeah, probably the only person who can get the actual taste of the food.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take a bit and it's gonna eat it.
And it's just
All right, I guess
completely,
I'm-
completely unaffected.
Yeah,
It's gonna like he's
the
gonna
hottest sauce on there.
oh yeah, he's gonna like take like I don't know a claw. I don't know, like are they full scorpions or are they
Like
like
chunks of meat because they were
Yeah,
boiled and all the shell came off, so it's like
right? Okay, so it's like loose meat. Okay,
like loose
Yeah,
meat.
just-
Yeah. There are
yeah.
skewers to eat them with if you don't want to use your
Okay.
hand. But yeah.
I understand it's a fantasy game, so it might, but you realize that scorpions don't have meat in real life.
I went with it. I had an idea and I went with it.
You know
Yeah,
what?
they're giant, muscly ones. They're like lobsters.
The land lobsters.
Yeah, land lobsters. There's like a fuck ton of them in there over in the east. There's it's almost like rats, except
Yeah.
not rats.
It's used to be a giant lake. Now it's a desert. And
You can
it's
just
never
go out
saying.
in a back desert
Became-
garden and then just stab a scorpion and then get roasted.
yeah.
So, Liska, did you want to try one? Make a con save?
I'll just say since everyone's fucking doing these, let's do
Yeah,
it.
it's a party. Everybody.
There
do
you go.
it.
So
22.
Grunk is gonna take like so Grunk is gonna take a chunk. He's gonna like dip it probably way too deep into the bowl, so he's like gets
Attaboy.
it on his fingers, and then it's gonna like take a bite and be like, oh, this is bug.
This is the
This is good. Big good bug. And then it's gonna reach into his bag and then take out this fire salt and it's gonna sprinkle a bit on it.
Oh no!
And he's gonna eat the
eye
rest.
that. It's like,
Yeah,
do I
and then it's
take
gonna eat the rest and be like, he's being wise as a head good bug. There's no good bugs out there, too small.
Yeah, I had a feeling you like it. Can I think I can get a little bit of that salt?
Oh, sure, it's
Is that
not much
what the
left.
title?
You can have a couple of flakes.
Oh, cheers. He just sort of holds his chunk of, like, thoroughly drenched in sauce.
Yeah.
Yara
Alright,
holds
make-
hers lightly.
I guess make a con save, I guess.
Alrighty, here we
Yep.
go. Oh, damn it, I reattuned my thing out of habit.
Wow,
Let me break it.
Gronka, is that really just salt?
nope,
Is it a mineral?
So you see, fire salt is a. It comes from a. Let's see, it's not really farm, but it comes from a plant that we like kind of scrape the outside, like the insides of, and that's you kind of actually
Also,
wait.
it's got like an oil thing on it
Wait,
that you
wait,
find
no,
a way
no,
to
no.
crystallize.
Angus is a mushroom, a vegetable, or a fruit.
Considering how they're eaten in stews, vegetable.
Okay, so I guess it's come from the vegetable. Because
I was just
you know,
looking at the
Yeah.
party with.
so it's from a it's from a mushroom that grows grows very deep down. I haven't really seen it very often up here. I mean, this that I found here was kind of I've never seen it this far up, but it grows next to lava, like pools and rivers and stuff. Mainly to, I think one of the mushroom people said that when I asked why it only grows there, he said that, it's because nothing else really can stand that heat, so it's kind of like a defense mechanism, kind of. But the mushroom is inedible, really. It's just that you take the mushroom.
Fucking challenge.
Yeah, I mean, and you take the mushroom and then you dry it. Like, you take the cap. The fruit is basically like eating a piece of wood. Trust me, I've tried.
You dry it like half and grind it, and you do some stuff, and you get that.
Yeah, you don't care. You don't dry. You don't grind the entire cap. You dry it, and by drying it, and I don't ask me how there's actually any like fluids inside of that thing. Like I'm not a mushroom person. I don't know. I only eat them. I don't know how mushroom work. and then you dry
He's
it.
intensely listening.
Yeah, so you dry it, and that makes the actual cap shrink and shrivel up, but the actual top layer of the cap doesn't. So it kind of becomes separated from the actual head cap, whatever. And then you kind of scrape that off, and then you grind it, and then you I guess you just kind of dry it again. You need to make sure it's completely dry, and then you leave it and set it to what's the word? You set it to you leave it in you leave it in a canister of a kind, generally one that doesn't burn, and you put it, and you leave it there for a couple of I think it's what Gurka's gonna say something that sounds like a rhyme in whatever bullshit language he's talking, and then it's gonna be okay, it's a month. I think it would be in your time.
So you're saying that this is essentially a specially treated bit of mushroom cap skin?
Yeah.
May I sample a tiny bit?
Sure.
We'll just lightly, as you would expect a chef, dip his pinky in whatever vessel you have that holds it.
It's like a little glass shaker, basically.
He'll dip that a little bit and he'll taste it.
Yeah,
7 billion taste buds.
It's probably the strongest. Yeah, it's probably the strongest.
Very umami.
Probably the strongest thing you've ever tasted. You can feel your tongue kind of slightly blistered.
Oh yeah.
Make a con save.
I'm gonna petition. Hey, I'm a chef that's used to tasting spices. I got a feat to be able to do this. Can I just taste the spice?
I mean, you could, but it'd probably still hurt a bit.
I mean,
even Gordon Ramsay still gets hurt eating a fucking Carolina Reaper.
yeah.
Is this a poison or a type of poison from the spice? Would my dwarven resilience apply?
I don't
think Goldbill's a
It,
poison.
it doesn't actually hurt, no.
No.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't say just kind of just out of character. I wouldn't necessarily consider spice or, for example, mint and stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily consider those to be poison. They are a defense mechanism, but I wouldn't consider them to be poison because it's just an unpleasancy, not necessarily something that harms.
I'd have to agree there. So,
just in my own opinion, at
Aren't
least,
you?
when it
Are
comes
you?
to stuff
Are
like
you,
that.
are you trained in con saves as a cleric? Is that?
No.
Oh.
I just have max con,
Oh well.
which is what I'm trying to say.
Just
There you
have
go.
all the cons.
He's a wide boy.
But it's still
He
less
is
than Val.
24. No issue.
I almost got 20'd it.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, you can really taste it. This is very similar to our dwarven fire wines. We use a type of root instead of a mushroom. We don't have access to that, but I've heard about it from the deep down miners.
Yeah, it's not very.
This is just from a mushroom.
Yeah, it's pretty much you don't really need to do anything else
It's
with it.
Vellum, you see the exact same sparkle in his eyes of turning cogs when you were telling him how you prepare the scorpion.
To some degree, Angus, it also reminds you of Fire Belly Brew. It's a rather famous it's a rather famous type of alcohol brewed across the Silver Kingdom, heavily inspired by the tale of the tale of Rayloff and Glacius.
Brother of Rico.
May I have a tiny portion of that in the vial? I would like to try something.
Okay, I mean, it's not a lot left, but you can have a little.
I'm trying to remedy that, lad.
Okay. Well,
Winks. And he'll wink and he'll lift his little chef's hat at you, and you see the little mushrooms he keeps tucked under there.
we're just gonna double blink, aka blink.
Double blink, but it's one eye individually at a time, like left, open, right, open.
It takes so long, it made open separate.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, sure.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have some more bugging now.
Of course.
The
Yeah,
yard
I'm gonna,
just grabbed me.
gotta,
You grabbed me
Nick.
for some milk.
There was mention of buying drinks at the Ember Room. I had some plans to go there. Did someone else?
Oh,
I think Rasmund and I had a wager going. Yeah, we had a wager going that whoever lost bought drink. And I think that's
I
where-
do. Excuse me.
You okay?
Here, have some milk.
Thank you.
Have some milk.
Yeah.
He needs some milk.
That meme.
I don't even know. I just did milk funny.
Milk.
I have to meet Ida there. Never again with that salt rocket. Oh God.
It's not for everyone.
Very
Lunch.
I plan on going there to do some socializing in Prague. I actually special ordered an outfit to get in. You have to have quite fancy clothes.
What's the Ember Room again?
Fancy drinking bar
Oh,
for snooty rich people.
oh.
Apparently the
Essentially,
drink's
yes.
pretty good there.
I already have my dress and everything for it anyway.
I need to pick up my clothes still. Oh, and that reminds me, I didn't know the rest of you were going, but he turns and sort of like Squires looks over, turns towards Sal. Would you mind to join? If you don't have something like, you know, that isn't. He gestures up and down to what I'm guessing is probably casual clothes. Actually, I got a gift.
Sao looks a bit perplexed at first, then she sort of thinks, I don't actually own much besides, well, my regular attire and, well, this.
Well, it's a good thing I solved that issue.
It is then that Sao's eyes just narrow.
What? Bellum got something appropriate from a skilled tailor to remind him of the homeland. I thought, well, get something nice for you to do sort of the same. With a little touch of here, away from that on an adventure. And little fancy, little nice. I can't expect you to say yes to join me if you don't have the clothes to get in. I didn't either, to be honest. I had to buy them. It's my treat.
There's sort of a hesitancy, but she just sort of nods slowly. Alright. I could probably do with something a little more formal, I guess. Not sure about if I would fit in. I'm not exactly... How was it you put it? Rich and Snoopy?
Yep, me neither.
Sorry.
That's the fun of it.
All of us are technically rich and snooty here. To be honest.
I don't think we're all rich and snooty. I think that most of us are just rich. Thanks to our host, as he lifts his flask to Varesh.
She kind of takes a cup of milk after finishing off another mouthful of spiced scorpion meat,
Oh no, she's got a taste for it now.
Once you have it, you can't stop.
In the background, you see Grunka sniffing one of the cans of milk, and then it's gonna put a couple of flakes of fire salt in.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Why is the milk spicy?
Why is it spicy?
Why is it spicy?
You thought the scorpions were bad. Now the milk is bad too.
Svelg's just gonna Svelg's gonna whisper a little bit to Angus, and then so. Maybe we want to grab some before our esteemed manager makes her way through it.
The milk's get an ominous red and bubbling color.
It's just boiling.
Oh dear God, no!
Wouldn't be suspicious at all.
Is this your milk that you've got, Grunka?
Or do you,
I mean, yeah, he just
Okay.
grabbed like a little
Okay.
jug and be like, "Oh, what's this? Need more
Is this
spice."
like, I was just about to say, is this a repeat of Lake's Vale?
I mean, he doesn't have enough.
Soon, probably.
He's neither drunk nor in a specific mischievous mood, and he also
Okay.
doesn't really feel like he has enough fire salt to waste it on such things.
Okay.
Alright. Sarah just sort of waves a hand to say no. I will pass on these scorpions.
Sure. I mean, if you don't have any of the sauce, it's not that bad for a foreigner.
Sarah just looks to Angus. I think I'll pass.
Alright. Well, it's there for as long as it's there. And he'll just go back to
Well-
finishing his.
Spicy food lingers on your mouth for a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's part of the enjoyment. You can have some and then later on you can still taste the good stuff.
Ah. I want to be able to taste the drinks of the Emperor.
Very fair.
right.
So,
I need to
good
get
luck.
something from there.
I'd rather not have every drink taste like the spice.
Well, a bit of spiced alcohol is sometimes a good thing. But I respect your choice.
But when everything's that spiced alcohol. Kind
Sure,
of taps
just-
his head.
Speaking of alcohol, where is it? He's gonna just wander off and get
Right
himself.
there, and he points towards the fucking orange alchemy jug of endless beer.
There you go.
Good shit.
Is
I'm
that
gonna hold off on that. Versus,
Drinking in commence.
and a round of drinks is had for all. You get individually pouring out these large Malin style sort of dwarfish beer steins that have been provided. And as Grimbald kind of takes a big old chug, kind of slams it down. I'll have another.
Aye. Of course, let me get that for you. Oh, by the way, now that it's later on and Madame Zanzil has departed, correct?
She's still there. It's kind of the feast is still in the process of going on here.
Ah, I thought it was later in the day. Okay, my sense of time was off. Either way, I'll get to the point there. Oh, that reminds me. I would like to introduce you to someone, Liska.
Oh,
He is gonna gesture towards the dwarf. This is Grimbald Irontusk. He is the current lord, or excuse me, son of the current lord of Clan Beastbane.
it is a pleasure to meet you.
Hey, Liska, I've heard a bit about you. You're the new Grand Huntress of the keep back in Mealand, am I right?
Of Dune Hollow, yes.
Ah, well, I've had a few talks with the current Grand Hunter, the keep over here in Tanzia, about a certain contract they've been wanting some help with. I believe we discussed it, Angus.
Aye, we did. And at that, from his shirt, he's gonna go ahead and produce a sealed scroll and hand it over towards Liska, or at least hold it up. It's your business, but I said we may be able to help. The Grand Hunter here was okay with us doing it, since their resources had to be diverted, and they couldn't. It's a beastie that's been killing people.
You spoke to the Grand Hunter here?
Yes, met him in the Ember room. In fact, that's where I met these lot. I overheard them talking about folks being killed and not being able to handle the order because, what's the name of the king of this land? Basically said, hey, you have to divert your resources towards something else. It was a big deal. He wrote down the details on this note if you'd like.
Well, Liska's going to open up the note.
And with that, I will show this to everyone. There we go. And I'll give that note to you. I'll stick it in your inventory as well.
Fancy contract.
Ah, yes, contract of laying. I mean slaying.
Yes, the contract made of contract.
So I'm just.
Future is made of future.
There you go.
Blood.
At least it's readable and in common plain text.
Right.
I did love your other contracts, Janner, on parchment paper and stuff, but like,
Yeah,
this is way more
difficult to read.
Ooh, that's the bitch. Resistant to magic and has runic scarring.
Yeah, no, this is not going to be an easy walk in the park at all.
Oh, it won't be. It'll be very interesting.
And there is actually some sort of artistic depiction of this beast.
Did it follow with the contract?
Yes.
Janner, cue MS Paint drawing.
I was thinking more about Monster Hunter drawing, but okay. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That looks weird.
That's like a
That
T-Rex
looks-
with a Triceratops crossed with a Satan.
Yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
A singular Satan.
This one.
It's-
Two is too many.
This one.
Actually, I should update that information. There are sealed items, and that's not accurate to the contract.
10 vials of blood.
So, you can sort of see here, it's not a pushover, and it's something the current branch has been struggling with, and has killed a lot of people. I cannot speak for you, as I'm not part of your keep, but I can say, from my understanding, this is sort of the things you do. Not just getting parts on contract for some rich sod because he wants some new carpet, but because it can be a bit of a danger. And it's an extra piece of pay, stops our skills from getting rusty, and it would also be a favour for me, as I'm trying to make some friends. As he gestures over with his thumb towards the lot of the dwarves he invited. How do you feel about this?
So
Would you
it
be
is-
willing to help?
So it is about getting a rich man's carpet.
Well, no. The beast started attacking them before they even knew it.
No, I mean, you're
At this,
like what you just said. Is you want to make friends with some dwarven nobles.
oh yeah, I want to make friends with some of the nobles for sure.
I
it's
will
not-
not. I'll I won't give an answer now. I'll have to talk with the Grand Hunter here.
Absolutely. He's already given his okay.
I appreciate you saying that on his behalf, but I would like to talk with him.
Of course. That's all I can do.
And yeah, she just hands the contract back to Angus.
And he'll pocket it.
My knowledge.
He'd be in the Ember room tonight.
Okay, I was gonna say my knowledge of how everything, because even before she was Grand Huntress, I imagine she had a working knowledge on where all the Hunters' keeps were. Is the main one in Tanzia located here in this town?
The main one in Tanzia is located in Tektarhos.
Okay. Does it seem odd that the Grand Hunter would be here?
I mean, Grand Hunters do tend to roam just like any other Slayer.
I mean, yeah, I understand. I am roaming right now, but all right, cool. Yeah. She hands it back,
it's not for clarity. It's not unusual for Grand Hunters to set up meetings with some esteemed clients kind of away from the main headquarters, if you will.
Yeah, in the resort town. Understandable. I would too. But yeah, so she's gonna hand it back, and then she's going to kind of give a neutral half bow to the dwarven nobles that it neither expresses dismissal or acceptance, because that could not be misconstrued, because she at least knows that much about dealing with people, and then she's going to return to eating.
All right.
And actually, she's going to walk over to wherever Dejar is, because I imagine we've been moving around a bit since we've been,
Dejar's. They're gonna be a little bit away from the table since everyone was drinking. He just didn't feel like taking part in that for a time.
Snoot buried in a milk jug.
Particularly.
But yeah, this guy's gonna come over to Dejar's like, so when did you want to leave for the meeting with Ada?
I think now would be a good time. I don't want to keep her waiting any longer than I have to.
Right. Then is there anything else that you want to prepare for, or do you want to swing back by the room to change or something?
Yeah, I think it would be wise to go back to the room so I can change, and then we can head over to the Ember room.
Alright.
So, as we both depart the feast for the meantime.
Yep. Give a wave to everybody. Apparently we will see all of you in the Ember room.
Oh,
Hey.
Sure, see you there.
So, as
Tell him I'm coming, and to make a spot for me to park.
Sure. Okay. He just
Does-
shrugs. Go ahead.
the sun slowly sets below the horizon, as you've been sort of eating your meals here, the sky transforms into this canvas of vibrant colours, ranging from oranges to pinks to purples to reds, creating this stunning natural beauty that sort of it's very captivating. The sun rays cast these long shadows across the landscape, and eventually the last sliver of sun disappears from the sight. The sky turns darker, revealing these twinkling stars above. actually. Hang on. There we go. Excuse me, where's the ambience?
I alt-tabbed and thought I was in the ocean. The color change was jarring. It was like, oh no, what happened? The tide came in very quickly.
I mean, we can throw you into the ocean if you want.
Depending on how drunk everyone is.
So
Let's not drink and swim, y'all.
No.
That's the way to drown. No, don't do that.
So
Ellen's gonna
Zliska,
get a buzz. Not gonna go full drunk. He still has to go to a different location
Yeah,
and be
yeah.
respectful.
So as Liska and Dejar depart, the rest of you kind of the only source of light on the pier is these sort of flickering the flames of the torch. The attendants begin to clear up the dinnerware, signaling the end of the feast. To kind of take in your surroundings. You, Sayun, you first spot this. The three women near the tent on the beach now wearing this unique and elaborate jewellery. The jewellery appears to be sort of custom made for them, adorning their necks, arms, legs. The lights of the torches and the bonfire nearby make this jewellery sort of shine brilliantly. The women's figures are covered in tattoos, sort of strategically placed to cover certain areas of their bodies, leaving some parts to the imagination. Tattoos themselves emit this gentle orange glow as they're engrossed in conversation, preparing for their performance.
Sao is making a point of this to the others. Because, hey, this looks interesting.
And you can see they're sort of gathering around this stage, this platform that's been set up on the beaches. You can see Varesh, who seems to be directing the last minute preparations. She's kind of idly chatting with the three women, trying to get things organised.
Sorry. I think this might be the arranged entertainment Miss Rasmus spoke of.
Nice.
Oh god, they're on fire.
You can see the women's kind of stretching their muscles, giving this preparing, making sure they do their sort of pre-performance exercises. You actually saw these three women during your when you first saw the fiery parade that made its way through the streets of Itzel. You know these as the fire nymphs.
Half-naked ladies wreathed in fire.
Very what's the term? The not burlesque. I wouldn't say burlesque, but like
Exotic.
like the women wearing those I think it's somewhere on the west coast of America, some city that's renowned for them.
California.
Hawaii?
Hula dancers?
Not quite. The word for them escapes me now.
Describe it.
They wear these these kind of showy outfits with extravagant feathers.
Oh, the
like-
carnival stuff.
Sort of, yeah.
What is that stuff called?
I mean,
Yeah.
like showgirls.
Showgirls, that's it. It's very similar vibe, yeah.
Vaudeville. Is that it?
That,
Burlesque.
Let's just go with that. We know what
whatever. You can see that they seem to be sort of practicing their magic, sort of juggling flames between each other, trying to prepare for this performance.
their faces scare me. They have menace on the mind.
You can see a number of seating areas are being set up around these very basic sort of almost like driftwood logs are being set up around this performance area, and you can see a number of guests of the feast are sort of meandering their way around there, beginning to sort of sit down, prepare for the show. You can see Grimbold and his retinue of his two dwarven bodyguards are also making their way over there, sort of drinks in hand, sort of chattering boisterously and loudly with each other, just enjoying the evening.
Perfect, as they should.
Plan is working exactly.
I've buttered them up with butter and beer.
And buttered beer. And beer butter.
And lard.
So, if anyone wishes to observe, they may.
Yeah, I mean, it's here, why not?
Fancy dance.
Yeah,
I mean, we got time. We can watch for a bit.
Yeah.
All right. So, with graceful movements, these three women make their way towards the platform, where presumably they will be performing. As you approach, you notice a set of large leather drums that have been placed nearby. The drums are varying sizes and are intricately designed with symbols and patterns etched into the leather. A very burly man wearing traditional Kazakhstan ritual drummer garb. You know this as traditional drummer garb, Tilali especially. And he kind of positions himself behind the drums, adjusting.
Can we guess he performs the same function as the drummer in the arena thing?
It would, but outwardly it would apparently seem so. Yes, at first glance. And you can see he's adjusting his clothing, kind of positioning his hands on the pair of drumsticks nearby, and readies himself. As the three women kind of climb atop the platform, you watch as all nearby sources of light flicker out, plunging the beach into the darkness as they take their positions, laying at the foot of the brazier in this sort of triangular formation around it. Even some of the attendants nearby who are sort of packing up the feast area are stopping to watch, and there's a silence across the beach as the drums begin to play. The women raise their arms, and the brazier roars to life. Rising to their knees, the women demonstrate impressive feats of contortionism, leaning back into this absurd degree. Then suddenly, they all rise to a stand, and with a simple somatic gesture, Long trails of flame surge through their bodies, igniting their tattoos with these bright orange flames. They dance around the brazier energetically, using the trails of fire as if they were ribbon dancers.
I need to get me some of those.
Then, with this sudden motion, they all raise their hands and seem to will the brazier to burst into flames. Their movements become fluid, undulating, almost otherworldly, as if they're not quite bound to the laws of physics. They twirl and spin around in the flames, their bodies moving in perfect sync with the flickering orange light. During performances like this, the fire nymphs are likely focused on their dance routine and engaging with the crowd as a whole, but rather than kind of singling out individuals to participate. However, you notice that from time to time, one of the fire nymphs sort of extends a hand out to invite one of you to join in this private setting such as this, where the audience is similar and more is smaller and more exclusive. It's probably not uncommon for one of the dancers to approach an individual and invite them to join the festivities.
Well, alright, get to see the runes up close.
Alright, so Angus...
Let's have a dance then, lads. He's gonna clap his hands, and his flaming hand tattoos will go up, and his hands are on fire. It's only his hand, but...
Yeah. As your hands begin to glow brightly. As they sort of lead you in the dance, sort of showing you the ropes, and sort of doing a short sequence of moves, and then sort of gesturing to you as if to continue that sequence.
And the one, and the two. Look at me! I'm the new Earth! Olay!
Make a performance check.
Oh, God.
I'll say with advantage because they're technically helping you.
Yeah, they showed me how to do it.
You know, fuck it. Have a plus 4, as Souse basically shouts at him. Shake your hips!
What a hip movement!
So, with a total
Behold
of...
the power of low center mass. Hip.
With that, with a total of 20, with Sayun's flash of genius, the fire nymphs begin to kind of sort of throw small, like, not the fireball spell obviously, but small balls of fire towards you to juggle. And with your flaming tattoos, it's actually not very hard to sort of handle the fire here, as the flame seems to obey your every command, and their command as well, moving in perfect harmony with the movements of the flame. And the fire trails from them seem to become extensions of your own bodies as you dance along with them, flowing around them and you like ribbons as they all spin and twirl. They sweep their arms rhythmically over the brazier, show you how to do so as well, as the fire begins to sputter and spit controlled flames. The brazier itself burns brighter and brighter, causing a rumble throughout the ground until everything dims suddenly. The dancers fall to their knees, undulating and spinning the fire around themselves. There. Go ahead and make another performance check, Angus.
Yeah.
With advantage as well.
Just before that, he's gonna go over to Grunka, right? He's not gonna go over, but look over to him and sort of like, head nod and be like, it's fire. Come on, buddy.
Grunker's gonna look very
Uh.
uneasy, but he's a bit curious.
All right. Curious is one thing, but do you actually join?
I mean, sure, I could try.
All right then. So as you begin to hop up on stage and join Angus in this dance, go ahead and make me a performance check. With advantage. So roll again. 14. Not bad. Not bad. Gronk is a bit flat-footed.
Stiff.
Yeah.
He's a little bit stiff.
Yeah.
Hitting for a rock, man.
Deeplings aren't a lot. Deeplings don't dance a lot.
The dancers kind of fall to their knees, undulating, spinning the fire around themselves, and they use their hands to juggle the fire, both to you and to you, Grunker.
Grunker's gonna use control flame to do some fancy stuff with the fire.
Oh, there you go. And with control flame, you wouldn't even need to roll.
So basically, when they like, I don't know, lend him the fire or whatever, when they like reach it out to him, he's basically gonna grab it. Like, I'm sure they're not really imagining that someone could, and then he just kind of grab it and then start like fucking around with it and like make it change color and like fling it around and like kind of like pseudo imitates what they're doing, and then just kind of like whoosh, gonna fling it back at him and just like, you know, there you go.
They seem initially caught off guard. They momentarily kind of pause their performance and look to each other, astonished, and then smile comes over their faces as they know that very similar to them, you're able to control flames as well. And as they dance, they sort of bring the fire closer and closer to their skin, almost touching it, and sort of look to you to follow suit.
All right, game. Even though Grunka is like he's doing it, but he is kind of looking at the fire, and he is like kind of looking kind of a bit weirded out by it, and be like, this is weird. This isn't real fire. This is strange.
Hello, Mr. Fire, I am Grunker. Okay, don't ignore me then, okay.
Yeah.
Why
Okay,
don't you scream like other fire?
it is. I mean, it is kind of weird, but you know, we'll see if anyone asks him about it. Yeah, he's gonna like, you know, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, this is kind of weird. It's kind of like, I don't know, like imagine like a person that's like generally kind of like anti-fur, and then is handed like a fur coat made out of fur, and it's like, oh, okay, I mean, it's dead, but you know, all right. I mean, I don't really want to like be rude or mess anything up, but it's like, oh, okay, I thought this was an imitation, but no, this is just okay. Okay.
So, as the kind of as the fire dims and dims and dims, they kind of rise up once more. The nymphs breathing this new life into the flame, causing it to go higher and higher, surging through long trails of flame. As the fire intensifies, the women move in this almost like best way to describe it is this animalistic manner, like beasts dancing around a campfire, just wild, untamed, and more unrestrained their movements become, reflecting the primal nature of the flames, jumping, bounding around the now raging fire like embers spitting from a flame. Almost encouraging the both of you to sort of lose control here in a way.
Lose control, you say?
Oh no!
Oh god, he's gonna burn down another building. He's literally gonna make a patch of glass.
Yeah, he's gonna go off me.
Oh no. Glass on women.
So I was like, oh, this will go great for a lighthouse, thank you.
Oh yes. Alright. I guess Grunk is gonna start being a little like, I don't know, like, I guess kind of a bit hypnotized by it, a bit like, you know, kind of like, I don't know, like a bull by a red waving cloth and be like, you know, yeah, just get a bit, you know, a bit fired up, if you wanna say it like that.
Illusory.
He might start, yeah, he's gonna start like grabbing more like fire and start to like really like he's gonna start doing like bigger like fire shows or whatever you wanna call it. It's kind of like stuff that's a little bit kind of looks more dangerous. And I assume he himself is also starting to get a little bit warmer as he's kind of like I don't know, he's not really looking at anything or anything else, he's just kind of looking at the fire, and you can kind of see like, you know, is the fire just reflecting in his eyes or is his eyes glowing? You don't really know. Hard to tell.
So you actually, with your passive perception, you can see Gronka's sort of stony exterior that he's always had. You can see slight glows between the cracks in his skin. You can see as he's letting go of that little bit of control. You can see his eyes beginning to glow orange.
Yeah, you can probably see that like the cracks in his skin. Like other people might think that it's just like the reflection or the light of the fire, but you can pretty much see that like, okay, there's a little bit of like they're starting to glow a little bit, ever so slightly, but it's like.
Sal's initial reaction is just a bit sort of self-doubt, like is it actually this, or is it just, you know, as mentioned,
trick of the
fiery
eye.
glow, and then she just sort of grabs her earring and just basically broadcasts to Velen and Angus. I think Gronka is gonna blow.
Don't say it like that.
It's shorthand, okay?
Oh man, so many pretty fire ladies.
It's not really the ladies. He kind of like not even looking at the ladies. He's just focusing on the fire he kind of has in his hands.
How close are the dancers to Gronka?
They're about like 5-10 feet.
Fucking Incendious sees his fire and it's just like, aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to burn it all?
Don't you just want to blow up?
Yeah, that's still decent.
But yeah, Sal calls out to the others that, hey, our living firebomb is looking like his fuse is short.
Do we know the effective range of his kaboom yet? It only happened the once, I think.
And he's done it a couple of times. He's used it a couple of times in more ball, I remember. It is just 5 feet, like around him. Exactly, like I think it's. Is it just 4 squeets in a plus, or is it like every square around him? I don't remember that.
It's all 8 squares.
I'm still juggling this fire, right?
Yeah.
Is he
Okay.
are people in the boom radius of Gronka?
So, let's see, what was the... Actually, what is the saving throw of Eld? Let me see here. Okay,
But- Are people in the boom radius of Grunka at that response? You're right.
yes, but as you're kind of considering this, you can see the Sayun and Grunka. Grunka, you begin to feel yourself welling up with intense heat inside of you.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of like physically, it's like grabbing more and more fire. And it's like kind of like hoarding it almost, and it's just kind of like go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it's like, like you can, like it looks like it's almost struggling to keep it under control, but he is like keeping it under control still. But it's like starting to struggle, but he's still keeping, like he's keep gathering more.
Okay, I want to interrupt and do something.
Mhm.
When Sao Yun says this, why I'm asking him juggling fire, I'm gonna try and lure him away so he doesn't blow up the fucking civilians,
Okay.
right? And that's as simple. If I'm still juggling fire, if he's trying to get more fire in, Angus will just step in front of him and just like, hey, come on this way, you know? juggling the fire, fucking lure to the fish, right?
And as Angus sort of
pull him away. I don't mind if I'm caught in it. Just make it so others don't.
As Angus sort of intervenes, you sort of snap out of it a little bit, Bunker. You can see you've gathered this very large ball of flame.
Yeah, like Grunka, I imagine Grunka is like kind of like looking down a bit into his like now kind of like ball of fire. Like he both has like a big chunk of fire like kind of like between his hands, and then he has like a bunch like tornadoing around him, kind of. And then when you like, I guess call for him or like whatever you do, he's kind of like snapped back up a little bit, and you can see that his eyes are just like glowing with embers, and you can see like the cracks in his skin is like kind of like slowly like pulsating. Also like embers that are like kind of getting slightly blown by the wind.
And as you sort of ferry him away from the brazier and the other fire nymphs, you watch as they sort of the fire itself all around the stage dims once more. As excuse me, as embers dance around you, flitting through the air like glow bugs. You can see some of the attendants looking on the pier that are thoroughly invested in this performance. It's meant to be a crowd pleaser in the streets. Excuse me. A lot of smoke in this performance. You can see the embers sort of dancing, flitting amongst the audience. As there's this momentary lull.
Yeah, well, Drunka doesn't see anything. He is just a bit busy.
Yeah.
Right, he's gonna like, I assume he's gonna like actually grab whatever fire you have, Angus. And let's just do another one, just for funs.
Yep. It's just fun, lad.
Yeah.
That fight's over.
Yeah. He's gonna say something that you don't understand, and he's gonna like start to like kind of like hunker, like he's kind of start to like kind of not hunker, but like he kind of starts to like crumple up a little bit, like it's like his back starts to bend, and he kind of like starts to like a little bit kind of like a fetal position, but not quite. Like he's still standing up, and it's like just kind of like ball, like kind of like slightly rolling up a little bit into a ball, and then it's like the fire reaches a kind of like critical mass, and he suddenly just kind of like suddenly it's gonna like stand up, like his arms are gonna like start to like reach out into the sky. All the fire is gonna like just plume out like a giant like volcano eruption, and he is in fact going to explode.
So before you do that,
yes,
as this is happening, as you're kind of struggling to withstand the burning heart within you, you watch as the fire nymphs kind of weave their hands and begin to condense the fire further and further. Orange, red flame becomes yellow-white, kind of approaching the brazier closer and closer until it becomes this point of white-hot brightness. As you struggle to maintain that composure.
Yeah, Grunka's clothes are like searing and is like starting to smoke. Probably the very air around them is starting to like steam up.
Their movements become more focused and precise, almost predatory in nature. They move in this sort of calculated and intense manner, and it's at that point that both you and the brazier.
See, it is primordial rage, right?
Yes. Abruptly, the fiery brazier erupts in this powerful explosion of flame, taking on the shape of this great and terrible volcano that reaches almost about 50 feet into the air.
Yeah, like there's just gonna be like this explosion of like sand that starts to glitter, and like around Grunka's feet is starting to like kind of melt, and starts to like kind of like kind of like when you put like I guess something like a searing hot metal on like an ice block, but it's like glass.
I believe Sirenscape's just stopped working.
It did.
1 second.
Yeah. Well, I was hearing ambient fire noises.
Oh yeah, it's gone kaput.
Yeah, and now everything's just stopped.
The explosion was too powerful.
Yeah. So,
The audio tape.
so abruptly, the fiery brazier erupts in this powerful explosion of oh, fuck's sake. It's not-
Powerful. Fuck.
Hmm.
Man,
God damn it, Sirenscape, you ruined everything. One second. As this eruption occurs, it takes the form of a great and fiery volcano that reaches about 50 feet into the air. This ribbons of flame are ejected from its peak, disintegrating into embers like fireworks. The nymphs move with this wild abandon. Their bodies contorting, twisting in time with the rhythm of the drums. They seem to be lost in a trance, as if one with the fiery energy that surrounds them. And with one final fiery explosion, the nymphs slow their movement, bringing the dance to a close. And the volcano vanishes, plunging the beach into darkness. As they take a bow, as you kind of actually, what was Grunker doing throughout this?
I mean, after exploding.
Yeah.
Well, I think he would just kind of stand there and just kind of like look up into like the plume of fire and watch it like dissipate. Kind of like, and who knows what's going on in his head, but like, I guess you could interpret it as he like, like he kind of has the same body language as someone who just like had like an armful of like butterflies or birds and just kind of like released them. And he just kind of has like you could see like if things were different, they would probably be about the same movements and body language, but after he exploded.
You can hear applause from the nearby audience. Presumably they think that your transformation is just part of this whole performance. And the three women, as they kind of as you all bask in the warm applause and adoration, you'll kind of hold your final pose. The bodies of the nymphs kind of still radiating with heat and energy, before kind of taking one last bow. The flames dissipating from the bodies as they all kind of look towards you, Angus, still kind of patching out the last bit of flames from yourself.
Before he even bothers with patting himself out, he splashes Grunko with some of his holy water. Still like, water on the fire.
It's like gonna evaporate before it even touches him.
Yeah.
Well, I tried.
Holy mist?
Oh, I'm toasty. Oh, I'm on fire. starts patting down.
You
The
should probably do something about that.
three nymphs kind of come up to the
Kinda-
both of you. Kind of,
Black smoke.
yeah. Very eagerly taking both of your hands. I imagine Grunker probably doesn't know how to deal with this right now, considering the state he's in.
Man, so
How is Grunka doing?
He's just gonna like stand there for a while. He's like, he's kind of like standing there like a fucking archvile from Doom for a bit.
Just standing there, menacingly.
Yeah, and then he's kind of like, he's gonna like blink, and then like kind of start like looking around and be like, wait, where am I? And he's gonna look down at Angus that's like on fire in front of him, and he's gonna look at himself and be like, oh. And this is gonna like he's gonna like cancel the effects. Let's see, how do I do that? Do I like right click on this thing? Yes. And I guess kind of like he's kind of makes the sound of like someone pouring fire, like water onto a like coal bed. He's like a
sauna moment.
yeah, it's
Violently
like
sizzles.
shrink there. Yeah, and it's just gonna like stand. He's going to like start to like go for Angus, and then realize that oh, his feet are melted, stuck to the sand. And just like, oh,
Well,
he's just gonna like.
You're on a stone platform right now, so.
Oh, okay. Well, there's gonna be a little bit of melted rock stuck to the underside of his feet.
Yeah, just the scorch marks.
Yeah, he's gonna like struggle a bit with like lifting his foot, and there's like a crook, but like lift up like a little slab of stone that's stuck to his foot, and he's gonna be like, oh, okay, and then just kind of like clack his way over to Angus, and be like, oh, are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I knew they might not be, but I'm fine. Are you okay, my lad?
Oh,
He's gonna look at Grunka having exploded and look back to the three literal hot dancers. Was it good for you?
One of them kind of eagerly comes up to you, Grunker.
As he talks to Grunka, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kind of takes your hand, Grunker shakes it. That was incredible. How did you do that?
What? Oh,
Trauma.
I don't remember.
Kind of look to each
You're
other.
just gonna like stand there and like okay, like he's gonna like shake the hand, I guess, and then be like and then he's gonna like start to like stomp his feet to like get rid of the molten stone from his feet and be like, oh, nice guy. Oh, this is very unpleasant.
The rest of the audience is just kind of applauses all around. They still don't know that this wasn't actually part of the performance. They could have been in very real danger here.
Yeah, you're just gonna say something in incendiary, like in what is it called? Igneous is the language.
Ignan.
Ignant. Yeah, he's gonna say something to like in Ignant to himself and be like, oh.
Ignorant.
Yeah. He's just gonna say like something to himself and be like, oh, man, okay. And then he's gonna like kinda like realize that he said it in that language and be like, oh, I'm certainly feeling pretty tired. Because I'm pretty sure doesn't
It does give you
Primal
exhaustion, yes.
Rage give an exhaustion, yes. Let's
Yep.
see. Boy. Let's see, where do I give myself an exhaustion? It should be up there. Oh.
So it's just slowly getting closer and just cautiously looks to Angus and then the dancers like her look is asking like, we okay?
Thumbs up.
Mustache is
let's
folded.
No, it's used to it by now. It's protected.
Yeah, it's covered in grease. Fire
Yeah,
retardant
no, he
grease.
literally has magic wax.
Max.
Max. Max Wax.
Yeah.
Well, how about we get you some nice scorpions and get you settled for bed, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start kind of
Tuckered yourself out, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like I got a headache going on. Oh. Okay. I don't really know what happened, but okay.
You blew up.
I'm just gonna look back a bit past the women, and like look at the little the scorch mark on the ground, and then look at Angus, be like, oh, I guess I did. Oh, okay. We're just gonna kind of like turn around and then like look up at the ladies, and be like, good show.
Yes, that was incredible. Are you feeling all right?
I feel tired, but it also feel like I guess it's like, you know the feeling when you kinda gone like, you know, had a long annoying day and then you just kinda go and punch something a lot. It kinda feels like that. I don't know the word for it, but I guess I feel kind of good, but also just tired, and I'm a little bit, I don't really remember what happened, so that's a little bit concerning, but otherwise I feel good.
Maybe drink some water and get some rest.
Oh yeah, Grunk is gonna take Grunk is gonna take the water skin that he has and it's gonna uncork it. It's gonna be like be like, oh,
steam.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well. Okay. I'm just gonna like look at the water over there, like the sea. It's gonna be like, okay. I'm just gonna, you know, I guess you're just gonna take a little dip.
And it's gonna cool off.
And it's gonna like walk over to the ocean.
All right. As you enter the shallows, is it just
no, Janner.
What?
Ring of water walking.
Oh yeah.
He's going to walk on the water, and it's gonna be like, and then it's gonna like stand.
Tootsies first.
Yeah, and then it's just gonna like stand there and be like, oh, right. And I guess he's gonna like will himself into the water, because I guess that's how it works. He just kind of does it, be like, okay, I want to go in the water now, and just kind of like suddenly just like drop, and it's gonna be like basically like dropping like a hot rock in water. It's just gonna be like a big plume of steam.
Did you just do a object dropping into water sound effect, a little sploosh?
Yes.
I did.
So as you just drop into the water, you go about like eye level into the shallows.
Yeah, and just gonna like sit there for a while. Like the water, the water that like ends up on his head is gonna like kind of have that. What's it called? The effect when the water just kind of like rolls off a hot surface.
Yeah, like
It sizzles.
Yeah, I know it has a name, but I don't remember what it's called.
The Leidenfrost effect.
Yeah, the Leidenfrost
effect. The thing you just said.
Yeah, it's just gonna have that, and just gonna like the beads of water just gonna like roll off the top of his head until it finally cool enough to the Lexi stays. And just gonna stand there for a little while, and then it's gonna like, it's a very weird like spectacle, because it's like, it's gonna reach his arms up and it's gonna like put his hands on the water surface and it's gonna like pull himself up, kinda like it's a solid surface. And then it's kinda like and then just kinda stand on the water again and like kinda like shake the water off him and be like, okay.
That just gives a look to the fire nymphs and just sort of sighs a little. It's a long story with him.
I'm gonna go to bed.
I don't think we will inquire.
Yeah. You got some rust, Grunker. It's, you tuckered yourself out with whatever that was.
Yeah, I wish I knew.
So,
Okay.
As the fine imps kind of finish up, the attendants provide you with some after dinner refreshments. They excuse me. Kind of move around the pier and beach with a just tray of cocktails, wines, and other drinks. Varesh and Zanzil appear to be in conversation with each other, seemingly sort of warming up to each other's presence. And as the night wears on, the attendants kind of set out lounging chairs are on the water's edge, inviting you to relax, take in the soothing sounds of the waves for however much time you wish before you want to leave. Kind of arrange it.
Non-boiling waves.
Yeah. The seats are kind of arranged in this semicircle, sort of facing the ocean, with comfortable cushions thrown out for you to use. A soft glow of lanterns illuminates the area, and Angus, your gaze briefly meets Zanzil's as Bresh has stepped away to take in the night air. She approaches you, gives you a sly smile before starting conversation. I must say,
Hello.
You and your companions put on quite a show in the Crucible yesterday. You have a real talent for combat. I do sense a spark of divine magic in you. I can appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much. I work hard to curate it. I'm truly blessed and grateful for it.
She gives you a nod and a smile and kind of adjusts her dress before continuing. I must also ask, do you truly believe that working for Varesh is the best use of your skills? She may pay you well, but I can offer you and your group so much more. Double, in fact.
I'm a businessman. I am always willing to listen. I had to make arrangements myself when joining on a bit late for retainer fees. I am by far, how I shall say, not a bargain, but definitely a valuable asset. I'm always up for renegotiations. What is your interest?
I am interested in acquiring this team.
Thinks, scratches chin. I know that we do have an actual written contract with terms. There may be the potential to buy that out from Varesh. That way we're not known as deserters walking away on the contract. And she gets a nice fair shake. I know that if we were to just leave, Minnie wouldn't feel too happy with it, but if it were, say, a deal from our manager directly, well, that's a different thing now, isn't it?
Her lips kind of thin as you mention that. You can sense...
Obviously sort of, hey, they're not going to be okay with just bailing, but if it's official, it might be different.
Well, think about it. With your abilities, there are many opportunities for you and your group to excel under my employment. And I'm always looking forward to new talent.
You know, here. He'll grab a piece of bread left over from the table and just a simple knife, and he'll just carve a little rune onto it. This is my clan symbol, Silverhearth. Eh? Same one you saw on my big stone shield. You know my name. It's Angus Brackenbreck. Feel free to send to me whenever you need to. Even if it isn't for, you know, these contracted fighting and all that. I am a divine healer with strong powers and the ability to cure diseases and poisons and, well, should they pass in an unnatural way, I can even return dead to life, and if they wish to stay, make sure that they don't rise up if it's like the Morbog or the like. Quite powerful. So if you need any services in general, my clan is open and welcome to you, and will be happy to assist. Think of it as a personal healer on call. Would that interest you?
Perhaps, but it's more for arena combat skills I'm looking for. Your parting of the waters in the Crucible, that is certainly a spectacle I'm more than happy to pay double whatever Resh is paying you for. But, well, my ear is always open. I do have other matters to attend to right now, but
Of course. Oh, I do have one request, if I may impose. I've heard that there happens to be a sort of teleporting circle or way gem to come here. Should I wish to come back and visit you and discuss these matters in the future, might I have your permission for me and my group to attune to that spot so we may discuss these later on?
I'm afraid that is out of my purview, but I can put a word in for a recommendation for the Itzel waypoint.
I was told that you were the person to talk to. I apologize if I was misinformed.
I think we did discuss this earlier, didn't we? Yes, from the sated Dreamweaver. She did say talked about him in Soul. Never mind. My bad.
Yeah.
Very well then. I will allow you to attune to the waypoint that I keep within the resort.
I thank you humbly, and I will be certain to pass your offer on to the rest and make sure it's at least properly considered. May the record show I'm always interested in a better deal, so you've piqued mine.
Indeed. And with that, I shall say this. Don't let loyalty hold you back from greatness, Angus.
Very well. I'll make sure to consider that.
And with that, she makes her way off.
And as she makes her way off, and that pleasant smile, when when she's turned around and can't see, that nice civil smile he had just immediately drops in his sour face. Don't let loyalty feck off. He just thinks to himself that. He doesn't say that aloud. And just wanders back to the group.
So I was just looking at Angus, and yeah, she can tell by that frown that...
Dour face.
I like the one thing you don't diss a dwarf about. That's loyalty.
I mean, the balls on this lady.
Huge sus.
Isn't winning her any favors, though.
Well, lads, I've got permission for us to use our humble host's waystone here.
Fucking vitriol. Oh, that works out then.
She seems quite interested in our skills and is captivated by my divine magic. She's very intrigued at the idea of a acquisition, shall we say.
Oh, she's not trying to poach our contract, is she?
Yes.
Well, it sounds like it. I said I wouldn't mind if it was officially bought off. Because I know some of you might not feel so nice about just leaving. That wouldn't feel too good now, would it?
Well, the thing is, Angus, this is a typical merchant's tactic. Normally it's going through to the supplier behind the back of a rival, but the fact that she isn't even considering buying our contract off of Rasman means that she doesn't intend to. She would rather go the devious way, by the sound of it.
Right. And I wouldn't want to be known for being the devious backstabbing asset. I don't mind us getting the best deal. Oh, I'm not trying to apply. I don't mind us getting the best deal. I'm okay to change handlers if contracts are bought out, everything's agreed, above board, good proper shake. I don't want to just bail and leave. I don't think, as he kind of says this actually in hushed tones, I don't think we should want to work with her. She doesn't respect loyalty.
Doesn't sound like it, no. And once you neg on a contract, that's your reputation down the shitter.
As he violently nods, mustache bobbing out of place.
I'd say we mull it over, bring it up to Vresh, and let's just enjoy us for tonight.
I will enjoy it. I'd like to bring it up because I did get an offer for double or more.
Oh yeah, she's
So?
definitely just trying to buy us out.
Oh yes.
Well, for now, we should enjoy ourselves, and then broach the subject to Rasmund when the time is right.
We should consider it. We just want to make sure we continue to get the best deal. As our skills grow, so does the value we generate. So should the value we receive in time. That's fair, keeps business going. Otherwise these allures start to sound more and more reasonable. Even if bailing doesn't feel right, if it's a contract that's screwing you, well, and it's not a fair shake for us. We'll renegotiate at some point in the future, but let's focus on fun for now. Speaking of fun, I want to get to the Ember room. All this is done, Grunky's tuckered himself out. And before it gets to be too late, I need to pick up my order.
Speaking of that, actually, do you need a hand with that?
Absolutely, I was gonna invite you, in fact. Come see it. That way if there needs to be any last minute adjustments, hopefully shouldn't, I talked to a friend and borrowed some numbers, as he kinda elbows Vellum in the hip.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It is at that moment you can see not just that Sao's eyes narrow, her lips does this weird sort of smirk smile curling thing, but it's not really a smirk thing. It just looks at him with sort of a glare.
Look, in my defense, I thought it might have been equipment.
I was deliberately vague.
Like,
I'm not gonna say I was misleading him, because I did say, I was gonna make something for you. He's like, is the armor wrong? No, armor wasn't wrong, but it was fine. It was something else. Like, kind of kept it a surprise. And besides, it's better that he help me and make sure whatever he got is, like, comfortable and doesn't pinch or chafe or something, right? We've all been there. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, measurement should be good. You two head off and get that. I'll make my way over with Rasmund and we'll see you there.
Aye. Well, off we go then. Shall we?
Alright.
Yeah, I recommend adding to snack and listen.
That's exactly what I was going to do. So, within the Ember Room, so you are both let's see. You are changed. Deja, Liska, what are you wearing for the Ember Room?
Avon literally just BRB'd.
Oh no!
No, the timing.
Well,
Well, what is Snake wearing?
Black Spice, you there?
Spice, no. Why are the people we were about to go to exploding?
Well,
Oh, maybe use that if you wish. Because Spice has just skedoodled from the call.
yes, apparently so. Welp.
Okay.
Spice, do you exist? Are you muted on hardware? Well, regardless, I'm gonna go be back.
I'm seeing Avon light up, but I think I'm through.
Going through his speaker and registering on his end, so.
Well, that sucks.
Well, fuck. Well, we've got two options. We can give it a couple of minutes and then see if they come back, or maybe do like the snippet where they pick up, where Angus and Sal pick up the outfit and then go back to them and hope they're back.
Sure. Let's see. Angus and Saoyun. What does actually? What does Saoyun's outfit look like?
That is something I'm probably gonna let the man himself.
Let's see there.
Why is everyone fucking disappearing?
Hello?
There you
are.
Hello?
Yep.
Is it
I
working?
think,
Mhm.
yeah. I think Discord did the thing again.
Great! Yes, let me find the thing that was done for it.
Oh boy.
Okay, there we go. Through the power of Photoshop and bullshit. I'll post it in party chat. Baba Booey.
Papa boy.
Fancy Oriental dress, rather than peasant over the top bagginess basic tunic shit. It is stuff taken like directly sort of from the East Empire, a little bit more showy, unusual for Saoyun, less of just the raw practicality, in some attempt for modesty. There is like that sort of like stocking material underneath. I mean, listen, man, this place likes to really flaunt it, you know, but even that would be too much. At least for Sal.
Fucking love it.
Yeah. Very high quality fabrics. You know, platinum's worth. Lots of gold accessories. Because of limitations, I don't think that has feathers, but definitely there would be like some feathers at like the headpiece. Not like over the top, but you know, a bit modest.
Nice. Okay. And I imagine Angus is getting his outfit as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So as you're both doing that, now that our two other people are back here now, we can hand over to them.
Switch to them.
I'll check if Spice is actually here first. I've been dealing with some.
Spice, are you around?
I think they're dealing with some external things.
Yeah.
Might be some life issues interfering.
He did say I was dealing with family issues, so...
Okay.
Do we want to just call a bathroom break?
Yeah, go ahead.
That could work.
We'll do like 5-minute bathroom break. So, as you both approach the Ember Room, Liska and Deshar, you see within the Ember Room, you see this eclectic mix of guests sort of gathering to indulge in the pristine allure. You see, actually, I should stick on some ambience here, shouldn't I? I forgot to do that. If it will allow me.
Sirenscape's kind of been a bit
it's been very, very awkward.
Has it been like an update recently, or like is it just?
There's been an update recently.
Maybe that's why.
It's just very slow. But you see nobles and foreign aristocrats sort of draped in opulent attire, mingling with explorers and mercenaries of locally high regard. Bearing marks of daring exploits, mages, mystics, cloaked in these feathered robes adorned with arcane symbols. You can see a number of scholars clutching tomes of knowledge, engaging in esoteric dialogue with each other. You can see sort of bards and storytellers weaving enchanted tales as the air resonates with lively melodies of traditional Tahosian instruments. You see one group of Tahosian bards sort of entertaining a group of well-dressed individuals playing these haunting melodies on their flutes while dressed in these flowing robes of deep greens and blues. At the bar, one of the guests, a human woman, stands out with ornate gold embroidered robe adorned with symbols of some sort of fire goddess. You've seen these sort of symbols before in some of the Zalazosian priests from the wall. Attendant brings her a drink, and she sort of waves her hand, casting a very subtle cantrip and lights the surface of the drink on fire for a brief few seconds before extinguishing it with a flick of her wrist. Then she takes a sip of her drink. At a nearby table, very rotund and well-fed nobleman sits with his animal companion, a jaguar that lounges next to him as he sort of plays some sort of Tahosian board game with a group of other finely dressed gentlemen. You notice around the grand fire pit in the centre of the room, you notice a group of well-dressed Shah, each one adorned in rich fabrics and sparkling jewels, sort of lounging on the plush sofas around, sipping on exotic drinks. And situated in a quiet corner of the grand chamber are two demon folk. A striking demon with a deep shade of dark blue, a deep shade of dark blue-grey, and a mountain folk with a bright shade of dark pastel green. The blue-grey demon sort of catches catches the eye with her tall, thin frame and refined, pointed horns extending elegantly from her head, and her bright pink eyes glimmer in the light. She's dressed in this conservative yet refined, form-fitting black dress with lace trim that exudes sophistication. And she's intently studying an old parchment with her companion, occasionally discussing their findings. Meanwhile, the mountain folk next to her exudes this aura of quiet strength and wisdom. She's tall, plump, with large horns that curl upward into this crescent-like shape. A massive mane of curly emerald hair is adorned with pink roses and white daisies, which only serve to sort of emphasize a somewhat imposing presence. She's wearing a simple but elegant dress made of soft, sort of mossy green fabric that complements her skin tone. The A-line shape of the dress is sort of cut to flatter her curves, sort of falling gracefully just above the flower-adorned fur around her hooves. The dress is sort of modest neckline, short sleeves, trimmed with delicate lace resembling flower petals. And her deep pink eyes seem to shine with intelligence as she and her companion discuss this old parchment.
Yanner?
Yes.
I'm just going to tell you now. With the amount of people you describe, it's kind of hard to keep track.
I retain very little other than there's a blue-gray demon from the beginning. So there's just so much, and it's just like, oh.
I kind of retain most of it right now.
So,
you could put a brief description in the chat of each individual.
Sure.
Like, the blue-gray demon that's reading a book. The individual that's wearing all green that's doing this.
Yeah, the best way to do it is to give a sort of blanket-based level description, and then if people inquire as to details, then you can...
Then we can get, yeah.
Because we're always curious about NPCs, but too much information at once is gonna be like, oh, how, what, brain?
People remember the first thing you tell them and the last thing you tell them. Everything else is just emotional filler.
Just like we're all fucking stupid.
Emotional! Sorry.
Emotional filler!
Emotional filler!
At least I've heard that today.
Oh, that's a lot of people just described Yanner.
I think we got a decent chunk of who's who.
Char. What was Char? Was that like the local merchants?
Those were this world's version of Tabaxi.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And there's also
someone dropped something.
There's also the blue-grey demon and the emerald-green mountain folk.
I'm guessing those are the demons that we have seen before in renders.
Perhaps.
The librarian and the druid. Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess quick question: What does Dejar, what's Dejar wearing? Because we have to be fancy to come in here, right?
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
The way you're doing this. Good distraction.
Just
Dejar's
taking mind
wearing
off things.
It's a very nice and long ornate sock.
Yep.
Okay, he's wearing I would say a almost Aztec type dress embroidered with gold and what would seem like a design of a quartz kettle on the back that seems to wrap around the torso and have the head on the flap of one of the dresses and the tail on the back inside. So he has one of those feathered dress that has a sapphire with blue plumage of feathers just to adorn her head. He carrying this alchemic staff, but he also carrying a book that I don't think Liska would have.
Nope, she doesn't know how to read
before. No,
I'm
she wouldn't.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Keep going. Just joking.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's almost seems reminiscent to the spire in a sense. The book. It seems like they're a matching pair. He'll probably at that point turn to Liska, asking for the spire be brought out.
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, nobody knows what the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, okay, it is a good thing that I thought about bringing my bag of holding with us. And she's gonna reach into, like, her illusionary outfit and, pull out the spire. Be like, here.
Thanks. And he would stick the alchemic staff into the bag of holding and just carry the kind of spire instead. Gesturing over to where the demons are to saying the one that looks like a librarian is Ida. If my voice is cracking right now, I can't get in the character.
You're good.
Yes, Ida and her friend she has brought along as one toward a meeting. A little nervous, so excuse the fact that I'm not my normal self.
It's a little bit of
I mean, that is fine.
a little bit of quiver in Dejar's voice. It's very obvious.
Are you okay, Dejar? You seem uncharacteristically nervous.
Yes, I have. I have a lot on my mind.
Do you want to do this? We can always, like, call off sick or something.
No, I'd rather get this done now while I'm feeling this way. I'll probably get better along with time.
But, I mean, I consider you a friend. I came here to help you. But if you don't mind me asking, why... what are you here to do, exactly? It seems like this is not something you wish to do.
It's not... It's... I tend to get attached to books quite often, even if it's... I know I shouldn't keep it. But I made a promise, a deal, in the sense that anything I would find, I could probably get something better in return. Like books of skill or some scrolls or something. It's just the scholar in me doesn't want to give up the book, but I know it would probably be in better hands. That makes sense.
Okay. I mean, if this is some... And she kind of, like, casually waves her hand, like, wizard magic stuff, whatever. I've never really been one to know much about that, but if I guess I will just say, if you need me for anything, I am here to help. I have your back.
Right to the future. Let's go. Thank you. All right, let's go meet Ida and her friend.
Okay.
All right. As you approach, the mountain folk first notices you and sort of nudges Ida to get her attention. And Ida looks up from the scroll that they both of them have been sort of studying for the meantime. And smile, it's just a wide smile. She kind of stands up from her table, walks towards you with open arms. Deja, my dear, glad you finally made it to Itzel.
He's very nervous. You probably can see she's. I'm in my element, but I'm trying.
She kind of embraces you warmly, kisses the air on either side of the cheeks.
He does the same.
Deja, allow me to introduce Tuli Ilverda, my partner in both work and life. She kind of smiles and kind of gestures towards the emerald green mountain folk, who sort of smiles warmly, nods in quiet greeting.
And Deja gives a slight bow of return.
Ida seems to notice Tuli's quietness. Says, do forgive Tuli's manners. She tends to be quite shy around new acquaintances, she kind of says with a warm smile. But I assure you, she's just as delighted to meet you as I am. I presume this is one of your friends?
Yes, Liska Luma.
Liska's going to... being Tuli the way she is, she does, she has been eyeing Tuli, since he came up, because she's like, oh, mountain folk. It's like, hey. But also, with that, hearing your name, she's going to turn and give a bow. I'm assuming, I could be wrong, I'm assuming that Liska is the tallest person amongst this group?
Oh, yeah. Liska is definitely the tallest person.
I'm sure she's the tallest person anywhere besides giants, actual giants.
Tuli looks like, she, probably if she were to stand up from her seat, she'd probably be about 9 feet. There we go.
Yeah. I'm looking at her reference sheet. 9'1".
Yeah.
All right. All right. So yeah, Liska gives a very courteous. Well, no. What am I kidding? She was raised in torment. She will give a military bow, a very curt, very Spartan, no flourish. She's not doing a full salute, because you don't do that to civilians. But she's giving a very crisp bow at the waist to be cordial as a representative of torment. And she will do that to Tuli and to Ida, and it is a pleasure to meet you. I am Liska Aluma. I come on behalf of Dejar.
Very pleased to meet you, Liska. I am Ida ul Nerim. So, how she kind of glances over at Tuli with an affectionate smile, then turns back to you, Dejar, and Liska. How are you both faring? I trust your travels have been kind to you?
We've been enlightening, at least.
Well,
that
please,
much.
Have a seat. She asks, kind of bright pink eyes sparkling with curiosity, as she motions for you to both take a seat at their table.
Sarah will hesitantly take a seat, just try and get the butterflies in her stomach, just setting the spire close by, and leaving the book almost effectively on the table.
Ida quickly kind of, with a deft flick of her wrists and in a flourish of magic, this shimmering blue-grey feline with vibrant pink eyes materialises onto the tabletop, surrounded by this arcane aura. Ah, there you are, Pippin. Ida says with a wide smile. Would you be so kind as to fetch us some red wine, my dear? And she kind of, Ida sort of fastens a small purse of coins onto the cat's collar and sends Pippin off on a mission. In their confident strut, the feline saunters out into the wider room to procure requested refreshments.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say Liska's gonna just casually sit down, just be like, she feels slightly out of place, like this kind of, highfalutin thing's not quite her style, but she'll sit down, give just a casual smile and nod to Thule, like, I guess they're gonna be the ones talking, and and just kind of sits there and doing the whole keep a scan of the room in case anything is gonna happen.
Yep.
I hate to be that guy, but I gotta say it. Do we have two casters that both have the big, pretty mountain folk ladies with them?
Yes.
I'm not trying to impose the stereotype or anything, just like arm candy, right? But like, they both have some mountain folk arm candy. Maybe they're more than just that, but like, there's no denying it's like that too.
Let's be honest. I think the casters might be the arm candy. I mean, you could wear Jajar like a boa.
Boa constrictor.
You think it's about it?
I mean, potentially, like Liska's dressed up, so yeah.
How is Liska actually dressed up?
Just two nerds with their mountain folk mommies. Yeah, how is?
I'm glad you asked. So, so she's wearing, like, she's been warm about. She saw how nobles were dressed when they were in the arena, like how the people were at the beach and so forth. And so she's wearing kind of a traditional Tansian outfit that's going to be like this, but the feathers are like a vibrant, fiery, yellow, orange, red, almost like phoenix feathers. And the kind of green, like the leathery part, and is going to be white dragon scales that are reminiscent of Crothus. And for the head, because she's seen people wear like those jaguar heads, it's going to be a dragon head, but it's going to be so her horns are the horns of the dragon. And that's what she's wearing.
Badass.
Yeah, and it shows off her abs because
yeah, of
that
course,
is fancy as fuck, but also a lot less than I thought she'd be wearing.
I mean,
this is all an illusion, by the way. She has her armor underneath her. Like she's fully wearing her armor. Oh, and she also is wearing, because she did buy some jewelry and whatnot. She is physically wearing, she has like some gold chain strategically placed, like as choker, since it's meant for normal people's waist, but
quote unquote strategically.
Yep. C rings. So, but yeah, that's what she looks. She's like white base, like phoenix feather accents, and that dragon headdress with her horns.
All right. It's at that moment that Ida sort of spies that Ida's been occasionally sort of glancing at the spire that you've been holding to Jar, occasionally as you've been sitting down. So shall we discuss business first before pleasure?
Of course.
Go ahead.
He would take the spire, using her tail to bring it forth. This came from an elder that we fought in the Morbog. Along with his book, he was a rather nasty individual, and his book and staff demonstrated so.
Let's see.
Also, he was the head general of Mordefax's little house, as it were.
It tends to be what, that is what elders tend to be, yes. Well, she kind of rummages around in a satchel from him. I've brought something from my own personal collection back at the Maroon Palace. Something I think you might find rather interesting.
Please be a Salazar book.
She
will hurt you.
As she's rummaging around it in a satchel, she kind of snaps her attention as if remembering something. Oh no! And she kind of waves a hand, and a small portal of arcane magic opens up next to her. And she sort of reaches inside, rummages around a bit, and pulls out a wrapped bundle of blue cloth. And the portal closes, and she sets it down on the table and very gingerly unwraps it. She unveils an immaculately crafted book, set with gold trim and shimmering light blue scales that almost glitter like diamonds. Around the trim are a number of smaller, pristine sapphires, and there is some sort of rune, sort of emblazoned into the front of the book here, which you don't quite understand. In fact, neither of you quite understand.
No.
Actually, what languages do you speak, Liska?
Liska speaks. I always forget where I can find this. There we go. Trade tongue, demonic, draconic, and dwarven.
Ah, so you recognise this rune actually. This is the draconic rune for mastery.
Liska's like, again, it was, sitting there quietly, just kind of like bobbing her head to the music, kind of glancing every so often at Thule, and then like sees the book come out, randomly tilts her head to read it. It's like, oh, that's draconic.
Very astute. This is...
I kill dragons for a living. She motions to the headdress.
Well, that makes sense. Actually, what is Liska's sort of... What's Liska's passive insight?
Oh, passive insight? 15.
Yes. Oh, 15. You notice as you say kills dragons for a living. Ida kind of pauses for a moment. And then continues on.
Tijar's definitely going to incite Ida because of that.
It's like, is that something odd? I am the Grand Huntress of Dune Hollow's Hunter's Keep. Is it odd that I kill dragons?
Oh, no, not at all. I just wasn't expecting a Dragon Slayer sitting across from me. I hadn't known that you were the Grand Huntress of the Dune Hollow Keep. Last I heard, it was who's that one fellow?
Ragnar?
Is it Rathgar? That's his name.
Sorry, demonic accent. But yeah, she's can she act? I guess can Liska actively insight now instead of passively?
Sure.
Just be like, what's going on?
13.
Yeah, slightly less. Oh well.
It's when she said oh no, that's not a problem actually. In reference to you saying, is there a problem with the fact that I slay dragons? You notice a pause in her voice, but she does continue. This term. Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
This. I like, I don't check lore and whatnot of your world sometimes, Janner, so, if you're about to drop, if I'm hinting at some deep lore shit, tell me. I know of ruby dragons, and I know of the chromatic dragon types. Metallic dragons, as far as I know, don't exist. Does she seem to have a personal, is there... I think back to the mountain folk who I later thought was a ruby dragon. Coloration wise.
Okay.
Was the difference?
I see where your mind's going here.
Yeah.
You've already done your insight check.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That was just to check the vibe. I don't know what I would. I don't know what I would do to be like. Is this a dragon in demon form?
Okay. I can see where your mind's going. I don't know. So you're trying to get any lore for any other
Actually, no. Hold on. Her Liska's charisma is low and her intelligence is average. It's like, you're not a dragon, are you? I've just recently learned that they can be in demonic form. The one I met was a ruby dragon.
She gives you a very peculiar look and a smirk, which turns into just. That's the first time I've heard that question.
And not answered it.
No, I'm not a dragon, if that's what you're asking. That would be very impressive, wouldn't it?
I mean, I've met some impressive dragons. There is my name in the my name in Torment was the Blue Dragon of the Wastes. I am a former legionnaire.
I do recall hearing about a blue dragon in Torment.
Yes, I
assume that was you.
Yes, I was in there for a while and decided to leave for circumstances required my desired leaving. Where are you from?
Well, I migrated from the Dominion of Indulgence over to from the Dominion of Torment to Indulgence to start my shall we say early retirement as the Maroon Palace's chief archivist.
So you know of Kima?
I do, yes.
Yeah. If you know of her, then you probably know of me.
she kind of leans back for a moment and sort of strokes her chin. That was you that she competed against in the arena, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I
You're kind
thought
of looking back and forth, like, what's going on?
I knew that name sounded familiar.
Well, yes, it
Now
is.
I can put a face to that name at last. It's good to finally meet you.
It is good to meet you too, Ida. I am glad you are not a dragon.
She gives a light chuckle in the smoke.
Yeah, Liska gives a smile. Like, because understandably, this 10-foot tall mountain folk with like a dragon skull on top, like a dragon head on top of her head, can be probably very imposing. Like, she's like interrogating you as she's asking questions. but no, she's like smiles to just kind of lighten any misunderstandings or interpretations that this has all been very friendly and whatnot.
Well, shall I get down to brass tacks, shall I? She kind of hands on the book before her. No objections? Very well. This book has been with me for many years, Tashar. It was given to me by a dear friend with whom I've sadly lost contact with. It's served me well in my youth, but I've moved on since then. She kind of opens up the pages. Each of them has this sort of a gold leaf trim that looks like it was just printed, but the pages themselves are aged as if they might be centuries old. It contains various. It contains knowledge on various spells and incantations that might be of interest to you, Dijon. She kind of explains, flipping through pages to reveal intricate illustrations and scribbled notes in the margins. Grimoires like these are powerful tools for any wizard. It can be used as a spellcasting focus, plus you can use it as a spell book if you desire. And it will aid you in quickly preparing spells on the fly. There is one catch with this book, however. I've studied it for many years. I'm quite fluent in the language myself, but much of these pages are written in Draconic. And if I recall, you've always had a bit of trouble trying to decipher the tongue itself.
Yes, it pains me to say it.
I don't blame you. It's a complex language. It's thousands of years old, older than even the giant tongue. Various dialects and styles. But if you're willing, I may be able to help you there.
Alright, she's piqued with interest. Oh?
And perhaps you might be of some use as well, Liska. If you're willing.
I mean, I'm always happy to help a friend. But, I mean, if you need me to help read a book, sure, I can help you with that. But I guess I can help teach you Draconic.
Would be helpful, yes.
Wonderful. Just let it be known that each of us, I presume, do have pressing matters that need our attention first. As soon as we have the chance to focus on teaching you this language, Tajar, I will make sure to find some time for that, and make sure to find some time to find you. I presume Liska will be there as well to aid you.
Of course.
That gives a nod.
We will only be here for so long, but I guess you are also potentially coming with us to the temples?
To to the the tombs, yes?
Almost the tomb. Yes.
Yes. I should also like to talk to you about that a moment later. Remind me.
I'll do that.
Now, as soon as we have some chances to focus on teaching you this language, I would expect some sort of level of commitment from you in return, Dejar. Am I understood?
You are understood, madam.
Smashing. Is there anything else you wish to speak of with regards to our deal here?
Well, there is two things. One, I want to learn jewel crafting, but I've talked with a friend and is not too keen on. He's not the teaching sort, so I was hoping if you had a book on that type of subject.
Book on jewel crafting. I do have plenty of academic books in my library. I might be able to find something of that ilk.
And
of course, there is book learning, and then there's practical learning. What type of learning are you more astute with?
Practical learning.
Then I'm afraid I personally will not be able to help you there. I'm not a jewel crafter myself.
Oh, so I guess book learning would be the ideal thing, I guess. It sure is. Oh.
There is one person in the Maroon Palace that is adept with jewel crafting, but I don't know how free her schedule is.
We can hit that another time. I can probably just stick with book learning for the time being. The other thing though is I've seen a spell used in action that you get aid through conjuration of some type of spirit. I was wondering if you had a spell that dealt with dragons and spirits.
Ida kind of flicks through the pages of the tome, and you see a sprawling diagram, similar to what you'd find on a scroll. And you can see an illustration of 3 types of dragons. One of them is sort of spined, vicious, sort of deep red scaled colour. The other is this sort of elegant crystalline type aesthetic to it. The third has this long sort of serpentine sinewy shape, no wings, and you see this long twirling almost like whiskers almost. I believe this book possesses that very spell. Among a retinue of other spells you might find useful.
Right. So I'll besides do a book, and for that I can just hand you these.
Lovely. And with that, she kind of takes the. This is Karolath's book and Karolath's spire.
Yeah, yes.
All right. She takes the staff. Ooh, this is rather vicious looking, is it not? Kind of very much studying the various engravings, the etchings, the runes, kind of spiraling up the staff itself.
A rather nasty individual.
I think it's best if I keep this safe.
As intended.
And with that, she with a kind of wave of her hands, the small portal opens once more next to her, and she very much Mary Poppins pulling the candelabra out of her handbag, sort of thing. So it just sticks it right in.
So is the book. It's has some interesting vitality spells. Nice way of putting it.
Right. And actually, kind of briefly skims through the book as you're both talking. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Very nasty spells.
Nasty, like I said.
I'll study that. I'll study this another time. And she does the same with that book as well, sort of portals it. Right, on to our other topic of discussion, this tomb. I presume that you're the group that the Archmage spoke about.
Yes, him. He did speak about us in its entirety, yes.
And you're willing to help us out on this exploratory adventure.
Yes. Yes. It was also due with the caveat that I could, once this was done, get some laystone.
Yes, I was informed of that. We've been unable to enter the tomb due to the arcane, the ancient wards and magic that have sealed it for thousands of years. And we were recently informed that you have the key to unlock it.
Yes.
As you say that, Tuli chimes in for the first time. Yes, we were hoping to examine it further and see if we can learn anything from its origins about how it might be used to gain entry into the tomb.
Unfortunately, I don't have the key on me. It would be, I think, Angus has it? Bronca? I can't remember who. Those two.
That's unfortunate. And it's at that point, as you've all been sort of discussing this, the double doors of the Ember Room sort of burst open, and the rest of the posse comes in. The rest of the Hammer Strike. This would be Vellum, Vellum Salyun in her elegantly woven dress. Angus. Gronka, are you going to the Ember Room, or are you kind of resting for the evening?
Gronka's sleeping.
Okay.
Also, I think Varesh might have arrived a while before Sao and Angus because they had to go pick up their clothes, remember?
Yes.
Yep.
But,
Yeah, Gronka went to bed
speaking
pretty
of
much instantly.
Okay, fair enough. So as
He would not fit in here anyway.
yeah, fair enough. As Varesh also enters, sort of making sure to hold Vapmi's hand. She's not going to leave her alone.
Oh no, definitely.
And with that, as you all enter, you look over. You see this tall emerald green mountain folk. This is striking sort of deep grey blue demon folk. Alongside, chattering with Liska and Tajar. And you're all waved over. To continue the conversation next week.
Nice.
continue the conversation about the tomb of the Dragon Rider.
Tomb of a punk ass bitch.
Angus and Saoyun are still a bit behind for that.
Yeah, well, we'll address that next session.
Yeah.
Address that.
Okay. We'll stop recording in 3, 2, 1.